Manchester United in battle with top European club for Argentinian wonderkid centre-back. Christian Eriksen looking set to leave Manchester United this summer, and Kobbie Mainoo, new contract incoming. These are just some of the stories we will be talking about on today's show. But before we jump into that, please smash a like on today's video, subscribe to the channel if you're new, and let's get straight on into it. Let's start the show off with some positivity, as I like to do on Daily Red Devil, and that is about Kobbie Mainoo. Obviously, we all know what an incredible player he's been for Manchester United this season, and Samuel Luckhurst from that Manchester Evening News is saying that Man United are now in direct discussions with Mainoo's representatives over a new contract. This is just such good news. I can't speak more highly about this player. I really, really can't. 18 years of age, already starting for England. 20 games he's played for Man United this season. Looks like our best midfielder without a shadow of a doubt. I think he's better than Eriksen. I think he's better than Casemiro. Obviously, those players in their prime were unbelievable. But based on where they are at this current point, I would take Kobbie Mainoo over any of them. I genuinely would. Over Casemiro without a shadow of a doubt. Over Eriksen without a shadow of a doubt. Obviously, Bruno Fernandes plays in a slightly different position, so it's kind of different. But if someone said to me now, Kieran, you can either have Bruno Fernandes or Kobbie Mainoo, I say Kobbie Mainoo without literally 100%, without even thinking about it. Because for me, for him to be doing what he's doing at the age of 18, that's not normal. That's honestly, that's crazy. It is honestly crazy. Like, if you compare that to, say, someone like Haaland, who's everyone, says is like the best striker in the world and all the rest of it, which he is. He probably is alongside Mbappe. Like, if you look at where Haaland was at the age of 18 versus where Kobbie Mainoo is, Haaland's only really started making it in the last 2-3 seasons. Now, I know this is a bit of a stupid comparison, but I just wanted to give a bit of context here. At this age, Haaland was playing for Molde in the Norwegian league. Kobbie Mainoo's playing for Manchester United, winning us the game against Liverpool, scoring that goal against, was it against Wolves or Aston Villa? One of the two. Like, he's an unbelievable player, and I'm just so happy that Erik ten Hag is bringing players through the youth, because there's so many people in this fan base who don't think Erik ten Hag's good enough. But would Kobbie Mainoo have broken through if Erik ten Hag wasn't here? Maybe he would have. But I think that Erik ten Hag has been really, really pivotal to Kobbie Mainoo's success and his trust in that first team. The same with Garnacho. Garnacho has played pretty much every game this season. He's been one of our best players. Kobbie Mainoo's been one of our best players. Rasmus Højlund came in because of Erik ten Hag, and he looks like a real good player. So we have to give Erik ten Hag some respect here, because I think without Erik ten Hag, maybe Kobbie Mainoo wouldn't be where he is now. Obviously, that might not have happened, but if you look at people like Mourinho and some of these other managers, they rely on experienced players. They rely on more older players. Whereas Erik ten Hag has always had a track record for developing youth. So couldn't be happy about that. Buzzing. Really happy for Kobbie Mainoo. And you know what? I'm actually excited to watch football again. I'm really excited for the game on Saturday to see Kobbie Mainoo play. I don't ever watch England play, because obviously at a major competition I will, but friendlies, I'm just not interested. But I heard that Kobbie Mainoo was starting for England last night, and I watched it because I'm that excited about this guy, and he entertains me, and that's what you watch football for at the end of the day. So really happy about that. But let's move on to the next story. Let's talk about this Argentinian centre-back. Now, we did speak about him a couple of days ago on the channel. This is a name that seems to be literally impossible to ignore at the moment. His name is Aaron Anselmino. He is Argentinian international, 18 years of age, currently playing his football for Boca Juniors. Now, there are quite a few clubs who are really interested in this guy's signature. He is a centre-back. AC Milan apparently trying to sign him as well. And the headline this evening is that Man United and AC Milan have both made strong advances in the last few hours to try and sign Boca Juniors centre-back Aaron Anselmino. It says it's possible that both sides will submit concrete offers soon. Now, I've been doing some digging on this player, and a lot of people are saying he's going to be one of the top centre-backs in the next kind of 5 to 10 years. Now, the thing you do have to consider is he is still very young. And, all it takes is one freak injury and players' careers can completely derail. So I'm not going to sit here and say, he's going to be the best player in the world in 5 years, because it's impossible to say. Some people's developments work, some people's don't. But by way of players to watch in the centre-back position, he is honestly one of the best ones out there. In that age bracket, obviously, there's people like Jean-Claire Todibo. They're all like 23, 24. Like, this guy's only just turned 18. He's still very, very young. And if we're trying to build a team around young players for the next 10 years, signing people like this should be the type of signings we make. Now, he's available for 17 million euros, which I think is relatively fair, considering, again, He might turn into the best centre-back in the world. He might not. It's not a guarantee is what I'm kind of trying to get across to you. You know, he's definitely tipped to become a very, very big player. But that doesn't always result, that doesn't even materialise into guarantees, because no one can say at this point, can they? It is simply impossible. But from what I've seen of him, from what I've heard about him, from people who watch the Argentinian league, he looks like the real deal. And I really, really hope that Man United can get this deal done, because I really, really want to see a young spine throughout this team. And I think that somebody like this guy is perfect for that. So hopefully we can get this deal done. As I said, there are quite a few different clubs circling for his signature at the moment, so it's not going to be an easy deal to do. But let's hope that Ineos can prove to us that they're trying to bring in these young people and that it works. So yeah, we'll keep you updated on that one. But yeah, if we can get this deal done, it will be very, very positive. Kind of flipping the story on its head now, we're going to move to a departure. And the headline this evening is that apparently Man United will look to sell Christian Eriksen this summer. He's 32 years of age now, I believe, which he might even be older than that, actually. Yeah, he's just turned 32 last month. 32 years of age. For me personally, when Christian Eriksen came in, I was quite excited. I thought as a free transfer, it's a good signing and you can't really complain. He's got 1 year left of his contract, which is, I think, why Man United will look to move him on. He's a good squad player, but I think Man United should be realistically looking for younger people to fill that squad out. So, Christian Eriksen, thank you. I was happy when you came in. Obviously, throughout his career, he's been an absolutely unbelievable player, but I think we signed him, as we always do, towards the end of his career, and his legs are gone a little bit, I think. He doesn't seem to be able to play longer than one half at the top level, I don't think. So for me personally, I would probably move him on. And the main reason for that, to be honest with you, is he's definitely still a good player, and he's a good player to keep around the club. But the kind of wages that he's on, I think, are a problem for us, really. He's on 150,000 a week, which maybe doesn't sound like a lot in the grand scheme of things, but if you compare that with someone like Scott McTominay, who I'd say that 90% of the people watching this video today will say they want out of the club, McTominay's only on 60 grand a week. And my perspective of McTominay has actually changed a little bit this season. Now, if a club came in with a big offer for him, 40 million, I think United should take it, because he is from the youth academy and it would go down as 100% profit. But I'm not desperate to sell Scott McTominay for like a tiny amount of money. I would only sell him for like 40 million at this point, because he's on a small amount of money, weekly wage, 60 grand a week, which is nothing for a footballer. And Man United, that is honestly nothing. It's a third of what Christian Eriksen is being paid at the moment. And let's be honest, Scott McTominay has contributed way more this season than Christian Eriksen. So if we're trying to remove people from the team, and obviously we can't get rid of everybody because that's just not realistic, then Eriksen should go before McTominay. He's 32 years of age, he's on stupid wages, and he can't play longer than 45 minutes. So that needs to be done first. If then later on in the transfer window, someone comes in and offers us 40, 50 million for McTominay, then you seriously have to consider it. But for me, the first point of contact is not going to be getting rid of McTominay at all costs, because his wage, his mentality, his willingness to just sit on the bench and come off and change games, I think that's really important. Whereas Christian Eriksen on international duty has already said that he spoke to Erik ten Hag and he said he's not happy with his game time and that he thinks he should be playing more and all the rest of it. You don't ever get that from Scott McTominay. You don't, because he's happy to be a bench player. And for me, if Scott McTominay is willing to stay on the bench and be a bench player to impact games, I would keep him personally. I would, because I think you need players like that in your squad. Sir Alex Ferguson, when he had a lot of his success, had players who knew their position and were willing, like Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. He was the backup striker and he came on and would impact games. Now, I'm not saying Scott McTominay is as good as Ole Gunnar Solskjaer, because he's simply not. But the point I'm trying to make here is that Christian Eriksen wants game time. But in my opinion, Christian Eriksen is not good enough to get game time at Man United anymore. Whereas Scott McTominay is happy to be a bench player, happy to come off, happy to get minutes where he can, and is only being paid 60,000 a week, which I know to me or you sounds like a lot of money. But when you compare that to the other players at Manchester United, 60 grand a week is nothing. It is honestly nothing. As I said, Eriksen's on 150 grand a week. I mean, Mason Mount, who's played, 5 games this season, Mason Mount's on 250 grand a week. Just let that sink in for a minute. McTominay is earning about a quarter of what Mason Mount earns. So we do have to bring these things into perspective when we're, giving our opinion on players and stuff. And, people saying McTominay isn't good enough and all the rest of it. I agree. He's not good enough to start every single game for Manchester United. But as a bench player, if he's willing to do that, which he seems to be, for 60 grand a week, I don't think you can really go wrong. But just as I said before, if someone comes in with stupid money for McTominay, obviously you've got to take it. But yeah, to round up that part of the show, for me personally, Christian Eriksen, thank you, but he has to go. 1 year left of his contract. Move him on. And bring in some more youthful players. But I'm going to wrap the video up there, guys. Thank you so much to everyone who's joined me on the show this evening. If you have enjoyed today's video, please make sure to like, comment, subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. This has been Daily Red Devil. Have a great evening, everybody, and I'll speak to you all a bit later.